Hello everybody and welcome to a new month. It is October. It is my favorite month by far and yeah, I'm super happy. But with that comes new favorites. And I am solo today because Murphy actually had to head off to London for work earlier than expected, but I wanted to make sure that this got up sooner than later in the month of October. So without further ado, let us jump into some favorites. Okay, let's start in the personal care category, makeup, skincare, all of those fun things. So the first thing I'm going to mention is the YSL Libre perfume. This is just a little mini that I actually picked up when we were back in the States. I got a combo, this one plus the Black Opium, which I also love. But this, I think Black Opium is more like deep sultry. This has like a little bit slight floral elements in it, but not too much because I don't usually like floral perfumes, but it's been a favorite. And once this little guy is gone, I will probably get a larger size. So that's the first one. Next is Milk Makeup. They're called Sculpt Stick, and this is in Toasted, so it's a little bit more of a cool tone, which I prefer. So but it's not so cool toned that it just looks like a contour and it's like making you look a bit skeleton. So I got that recently, but I have used it like nearly every day. But also what I love about it is it just really melts in. The other one that I've used is just this NYX Wonder Stick. This is more of like a full-on bronzer, like it's pretty deep brown. And this is fine and I like it, but comparatively this one just like blends so much easier and like melts into your skin really nice. So yeah, I've been loving that. Okay, now this is not a new favorite for me, but it's kind of an all-time favorite, like an everyday favorite. And so I wanted to mention it, and it is Dior Addict Lip Glow. I'm in the pink 001, and this one like feels like a lip balm, and it just gives, like, especially if you have fair skin or like blonde hair, this is what the lady at the Dior counter was telling me the first time at least, the pink is like perfect. It's just super light, and yeah, I have it on right now, but I wear this like every day. So I picked up actually a new one of these recently because my first one was about to go. So I love it, and they have different shades too for different skin tones, or if you just like a little bit more of a bold lip, but they're not too intense, you can't really mess it up. So yes. Last in the self-care are these eye drops. They're the Rodo. I pretty much always end up buying eye drops when I travel. I have very sensitive eyes, and they're the most helpful across the board that I've used, and I've used a lot of eye drops. Especially when traveling, these are like to die for. Okay, let's move on to entertainment. I'll cover like TV and books in this one. So, okay, for shows, don't judge me. I'm a Real Housewives gal. And Real Housewives of Salt Lake City came back just a couple weeks ago, so I have been watching that religiously. It's probably one of my favorite franchises of the Real Housewives, maybe just because I got to like know them as it was coming out, whereas the other ones, for the most part, I had to like kind of go back and watch. So yeah, but I love them. It's so entertaining. So that's my TV for this month. And then books, I think I only read 2 books last month, which isn't great, but it's better than I anticipated at the beginning of the month, I think. So I read The Serpents and the Wings of Night. I'll insert a little photo of it here. And it was really good. It was like a fantasy book, and it's a vampire book, but it's not so vampire heavy that it's cringy, I would say. Like, it's not like a Twilight or like really cheesy vampire book at all. I would say it's kind of like a more adult Hunger Games mixed with vampires. If you like things like that, definitely just read the description of it or look at some videos on TikTok. I found it, Allison had it, and she maybe saw it on TikTok or something, but it was really easy to zip through, and then there was a little novella after, and I read that as well, and that was good. And I'll read, I think there's 3 total, not including the novella, so I'll have to read those as well, but I'm reading something else now. So that is my book that I loved last month. We're moving on to the food category, and only have 2 really, and one I think I've mentioned in a vlog, but it is the Copycat Starbucks spinach egg white feta wrap. It's like one of my favorite food items from Starbucks, and I have made and eaten it probably every single day for breakfast, Monday through Friday, sometimes on the weekends for the last like 3 weeks, and it's just delicious. It's just a tortilla, egg whites. I also use 1 regular egg, sun-dried tomatoes, spinach, and then some like low-fat feta. Curl it up, put it in the tortilla, fry the tortilla so it's a little bit crispy, and then dip it in hot sauce, and it's amazing, and it's filling, and yeah, it's great. And then next is Brie cheese, and I really felt like mentioning this because I love cheese, but for a while I just like didn't really care for Brie. I thought it was so boring, or I just like never was like, oh, I need to have Brie. Like if I was making a cheese board for people, I like had it because I felt like I needed to have a Brie. But oh my god, I get like a little sliver of Brie at the grocery store like once a week and have it with these really good ciabatta crackers, and it's like my favorite thing in the whole world, and with some prosciutto sometimes. I don't know, I just think it's funny that I just like didn't like Brie and now I just love it. So that's been like one of my #1 snacks. Okay, last but not least, and since Murphy's not here, I'll just say that I know he would have this one on here as well, because he uses this, and it is the ThermaPen, and this is a cooking thermometer, and we got this from Murphy's dad, so Jim, if you're watching, thank you. This was like one of those things that you never knew you needed. We had just a like really cheap meat thermometer before, and it was fine. I mean, we use it all the time. But then we got this, and this is so much nicer. It's just so instant. Like before, we'd be holding the stick in there for like a whole minute almost before we could get like a real read. This is like instant, and you just shut it and it turns off. Like there's no buttons or anything, and yeah, it's like I said, it's like such a nice thing to have that you don't realize that if you don't have a meat thermometer, like you don't even realize that you need it until you have one, and you're like, oh my god, this is so nice. I mean, he puts it in the boiling water even just for fun. Like this is one of those things that he's just like, this is so awesome. So yeah, would recommend getting one of these if you like to cook. Even if you don't, you probably know someone in your life that does. That would be a really great gift. So I think there's going to be some exciting stuff for the month of October in terms of favorites, and yeah, but thanks again for watching. Hope you found some of this interesting, and as usual, let us know if you've tried any of this stuff, and if you like it, if you don't like it, or anything that maybe we should try next month or in the upcoming months. But other than that, we will see you in the next video.